Welcome back to our social class, dear students. This is 8th standard, lesson 2, history from trade to territory. So we are going to start a new lesson today. So what are the learning objectives? So we are going to learn all these. To know the rise of the political power of English East India Company. So we are going to learn the rise of the political power of what? English East India Company. Second one, to know the events and impacts of Battle of Plassey and Buxar. So we are going to learn about Battle of Plassey and Buxar, okay, and its events and impacts. To know the Carnatic Wars and Mysore Wars. To know the Anglo-Maratha Wars. So three kinds of wars we are going to learn: Carnatic War, Mysore War, and Anglo-Maratha War. Next, to understand the growth of colonial army and civilian administration. So we are going to learn about the colonial army. What is colonial army? We will be learning, and civil administration of it. Then the last one, to understand the principles of subsidiary alliances and doctrine of lapse. Let's get into the lesson. Introduction. In the 15th century, Europe witnessed an era of geographical discoveries through land and sea routes. So era is nothing but a time of period is called as era. Okay. Time of period is called as what? Era. Okay. Fine. So during this 15th century, so European, they witnessed, they discovered a sea route, okay, discovered through land and sea route, okay. In 1498, Vasco da Gama of Portugal discovered a new sea route from Europe to India. So we saw in the first lesson of history, Vasco da Gama in the year 1498, he discovered a new sea route from Europe to India. We saw in a map, isn't it? The main motive behind those discoveries was to maximize profit through trade and to establish political supremacy. So what is the main reason or main motive behind this discovery of sea routes? In order to motivate or increase the profit of their trade, and they wanted to establish political supremacy over India. The rule of East India Company in India became effective after the conquest of Bengal. So when they conquered Bengal, the English East India Company's effective were started to become more effective. The main interest of the company in India was territorial and commercial expansion. They wanted to capture many territories, as well as they wanted to expand their commercial activities, that is trading activities. So now we are going to see establishment of political power by the English East India Company. So what are the establishment they did? We are going to see that. So first one is Battle of Plassey, year 1757. So what is Plassey? Plassey is nothing but it's a village in West Bengal. Okay, so Plassey is a village in West Bengal. There happened a battle. We are going to learn about it. Alivardi Khan, the Nawab of Bengal, died in 1756, and his grandson Siraj-ud-Dawla ascended the throne of Bengal. So in the year 1756, Alivardi Khan, so he was the Nawab of Bengal. So he was the Nawab of what? Bengal. So he died in the year 1756. So his grandson's name was Siraj-ud-Dawla. So he ascended his grandfather's throne in Bengal. This is the first point. Second point, the British, taking advantage of the new Nawab's weakness and unpopularity, seized power. So the British, they took advantage because the new Nawab was very weak and he was not very competent. Okay, he was not a capable ruler. Okay, and he was not unpopular. He was not popular. So due to all these disadvantages, the British people, they took advantage of this and they wanted to seize power against the Bengal. So Siraj-ud-Dawla descended to teach them, that is, them is here is British. So Siraj-ud-Dawla, he wanted to teach lesson to British, okay, by attacking over their political settlement of Calcutta. So he started to attack the political settlement in the Calcutta. Who did? Siraj-ud-Dawla. Next, the Nawab captured their factory at Kazim Bazar. So the Nawab, they they captured the factory at Kazim Bazar. Okay, so Kazim Bazar is nothing but it's a town in Bengal. So Kazim Bazar is a town in Bengal. And Nawab, so Nawab is a ruler, okay, particularly they say it as male viceroy. Okay, so here, and seized is nothing but to grab something suddenly. Okay, fine. Next point, the Nawab captured their factory at Kazim Bazar. Okay, on 20th June 1756, Fort William surrendered, but Robert Clive recovered Calcutta. So in the year 1756, June 20th, Fort William surrendered. Okay, but what happened? Robert Clive, he recovered the Calcutta. So this is the picture of Battle of Plassey in the year 1757. Next point. On 9th February 1757, Treaty of Alinagar was signed, whereby Siraj-ud-Dawla conceded practically all his claims. British then captured Chandranagore, the French settlement, on March 1757. So here what happened on the year 1757, 9th February, they had a Treaty of Alinagar. Okay, Treaty of Alinagar was signed. Okay, Siraj-ud-Dawla, he conceded. So conceded is nothing but to admit that something is true. Okay, although they don't want it. So to admit something is true is called as what? Conceded. Okay, so they practically considered practically all his claims. British then captured, the British people, they captured Chandranagore, which is the French settlement. Okay, they captured in the year 1757 in the month of March. Next, the Battle of Plassey took place between the British East India Company. So Battle of Plassey was taken place where? Between the British East India Company and the Nawab of Bengal and his French allies. So French allies is nothing but countries who fought together against Central Power. This is called as allies. Okay. Next, it was fought on 23rd June 1757. The English East India Company's force under Robert Clive defeated the force of Siraj-ud-Dawla. So English East India Company force under Robert Clive, they defeated whom? Siraj-ud-Dawla. After the collapse of Bengal, the company gained a huge amount of wealth from the treasury of Bengal and used it to strengthen its military force. So after the collapse of Bengal, after the war of Plassey, the company, they gained huge amount of wealth from the treasury of Bengal. From the treasury of Bengal, they looted many huge amount of wealth and used it to strengthen their military force. Next. The beginning of the British political sway over India may be traced from the Battle of Plassey. So sway is nothing but to move. Okay, so here they have given sway, to move. That is the meaning of sway. Okay, the beginning of British political sway, okay, over India may be traced from the Battle of Plassey. Okay, it was the most decisive battle that marked the initiation of British rule in India for the next 2 centuries. So this was the most decisive battle which marked the initiation of British rule over India for next 2 centuries. Next, this is the map. We'll be getting this map in exam. Okay, so this says about battles under British rules. So you have this map they have given in the book bank. So we have to mark 5 places, that is Plassey. So we'll see where is Plassey here. So Plassey is here in, it's a village in Bengal, we saw, isn't it? Plassey. This is the first place they have asked in the book bank. Okay, and next one is Buxar. Buxar is very near to it, number 2. Okay, and next one is Purandar. Excuse me, Purandar is here. Here, Purandar. Okay, and next one is Arcot. Arcot is here. Arcot. And next one is Vandivash. So these are the 5 places you need to mark. So when I am giving you map assignment, you are supposed to mark all these places, but very particularly you have to highlight all these 5 places. Okay, next. Next we'll see Battle of Buxar, which happened in the year 1764. So in this paragraph you have a short answer also. Okay, so listen to this and it will be very easy for you to study when it comes in question answers. After the Battle of Plassey in the year 1757, the company was granted undisputed right to have free trade in Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. So after the Battle of Plassey in the year 1757, the company, that is English East India Company, they granted undisputed right, okay, to have free trade in Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. They had granted right to have what kind of trade? Free trade without any restrictions in all these 3 places. What were the places? Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. Okay, this is the first point which comes in second short answer. Next one. It received the place of 24 Parganas in Bengal. So 24 Parganas. What is Parganas? Parganas is nothing but districts. Districts. Okay, Parganas is nothing but what? Districts. So they received 24 Parganas in Bengal. So starting from here to here, this is the second short answer. So I'll be giving you when I'm giving you the question answer, right? Okay. Next. Mir Jafar, 1757 to 1760, the Nawab of Bengal, however, fell into arrears and was forced to abdicate in favor of his son-in-law, Mir Qasim. So Mir Jafar, so he was the Nawab during these years, 1757 to 1760. So he was Nawab. Who is called as Nawab? A ruler. Okay, male viceroy. Okay, so Nawab of Bengal, he fell into arrears. Okay, and he was forced to abdicate. What is abdicate? Abdicate is nothing but to give up being king or queen. So he had to give up his Nawab power, okay, to his son-in-law Mir Qasim. Mir Qasim ceded Burdwan, Midnapur and Chittagong. So Mir Qasim, he ceded 3 places. What are the 3 places? Burdwan, Midnapur and Chittagong. He shifted his capital from Murshidabad to Munger. So he shifted the capital from Murshidabad to Munger. Mir Qasim soon revolted as he was angry with the British for misusing the distax, that is free duty passes. So Mir Qasim, he felt very angry with British people because they misused the free duty pass. However, having been defeated by the British, he fled to Awadh. So he was defeated by the British, okay, and he fled away to Awadh, where he found a confederacy with Shuja-ud-Dawla and Shah Alam. So when he fled over to Awadh, okay, he found a confederacy. Okay, confederacy is nothing but it's a kind of association, or in Tamil they say Kootamaipu. Okay, a partnership we can say. Okay, so he found a partnership from 2 persons. They are Shuja-ud-Dawla and Shah Alam. So picture of Battle of Buxar in the year 1764. So first point, the battle was fought on October 22nd, 1764 at Buxar, a small fortified town. So what is Buxar? It's a small fortified town within the territory of Bihar. So Buxar is in a territory of Bihar. It's a small fortified town. So it is located on the banks of the Ganges river, about 130 kilometers west of Patna. It was a decisive victory for the British East India Company. So Shuja-ud-Dawla, Shah Alam and Mir Qasim were defeated by General Hector Munro. So Shuja-ud-Dawla, Shah Alam and Mir Qasim, all these 3, they were defeated by whom? General Hector Munro. Okay. Mir Jafar was again placed on the throne. So again Mir Jafar, he was placed on the throne. On Mir Jafar's death, his son Nizam-ud-Dawla was placed on the throne and signed Allahabad Treaty on 20th February 1765, by which the Nawab had to disband most of his army and to administer Bengal through a deputy Subedar nominated by the company. Robert Clive concluded 2 separate treaties with Shuja-ud-Dawla and Shah Alam too. Dual system of government started to Bengal. So they started dual system of government. So we'll just stop up to this. We shall continue from Carnatic War in the next class. Thank you, children. Take care.